$400 billion. That's the number. According to McKinsey, that's what the market for connected car data will be worth by 2030. Now, this isn't just another revenue stream. It's a structural shock to the system, and it's forcing a direct conflict between the auto industry's century-old business model of selling hardware and the undeniable high-margin appeal of software as a service. This is Auto Read. We decode the machines and the markets that move the world. So, here's the conflict at its core. The entire industry is pivoting to what's called a software-defined vehicle. And in doing so, they are systematically tearing apart the traditional idea of car ownership. That single upfront payment you're used to, it's being deliberately re-engineered into a recurring and, let's be honest, a very contentious subscription for the life of the car. The piece of tech that unlocks all of this is the software-defined vehicle, or the SDV. What this means is a total flip in how a car is built. We're moving away from a messy, decentralized web of computer chips to a single, powerful, centralized computing platform. It fundamentally changes the vehicle from a static piece of hardware into a dynamic platform that can be updated and changed at any time. Okay, so you've got this new architecture. What does it enable? A completely new business model. And this is where the real strategy snaps into focus. The entire goal is to get away from that one-time sale and to unlock brand new, recurring revenue from you, the owner, for years after you've driven off the lot. You know, the best analogy for this comes from the tech world. Think about the difference between buying Microsoft Office 2003 in a box versus subscribing to Microsoft 365. One was a one-time purchase. It was yours, but it never got any better. The other is a service you pay for continuously. That's the shift automakers are trying to engineer for the car itself, creating a high-margin revenue stream that just keeps on flowing. And the delivery mechanism for all of this, over-the-air updates, OTA. They're the pipeline. Yes, they can be used to deploy bug fixes and new features, but here is the strategic core of it. They give the automaker the power to remotely enable, or more importantly, disable hardware features that are already physically installed in the vehicle you own. And don't think for a second this is just theoretical. It is happening right now. Mercedes-Benz will sell you an acceleration increase subscription. For an EQS, that's about $1,150 a year to unlock 80 more horsepower. Now that hardware, that capability, it was already built into the car at the factory. Your payment just flips a software switch. It is quite literally performance as a service. This is not some isolated case either. Tesla, the company that really wrote the playbook for the modern SDV, has already shifted its full self-driving feature to a subscription-only model. The message couldn't be clearer. This is a deliberate, industry-wide strategy to monetize high-value software for the entire life of the vehicle. But there's a huge problem. This entire strategy is running headfirst into a century of consumer expectation about what ownership means. And the result is a powerful and growing wave of resistance, not just from customers, but now from regulators too. Research from Cox Automotive puts some really precise numbers on this resistance. A full 75% of consumers see these subscriptions as nothing more than a money grab. But here's the statistic that should really worry automakers. 69%, we're talking nearly 7 out of every 10 people, say they would actively shop for a different brand just to avoid features locked behind a paywall. That is a direct threat to market share. I mean, just look at the mess Toyota got into. Back in 2021, The Drive reported that the remote start function on their key fobs would stop working unless you paid for a connected services plan. The public backlash was so swift and so severe that Toyota was forced to call the whole thing unintentional. It just goes to show how incredibly sensitive consumers are to being charged for features they believe should just come with the car. And now, that public anger is escalating into real legislative action. There's a bill being proposed in New Jersey that would outright ban subscriptions for features that use pre-installed hardware. Now, it does include a carve-out. It's only illegal if the automaker can't prove an ongoing expense to maintain the service. But with potential fines of up to $20,000 per violation, this is a direct legal and financial threat to the entire subscription model. So let's recap. On one side, you have automakers chasing a $400 billion market opportunity. On the other, you have massive resistance from customers and regulators who are drawing a line in the sand. These two powerful forces are on a collision course, which brings us to our critical forecast for the next 3 to 5 years. The outcome of this conflict is not going to be decided by who has the better technology. No, it will be determined by one single variable: the execution of the value proposition.
In other words, can these companies actually convince us that this is all worth it?
And execution here really comes down to 4 things. Number 1, value. Is this feature a genuine upgrade, or are they just charging you for something that used to be standard? 2, communication. Is the value crystal clear, or does it feel like a hidden fee? 3, the customer experience. Is activating and using the features seamless, or is it a headache? And finally, 4, the legal justification. Can they actually prove to regulators that there's an ongoing expense? A failure on any one of these points could sink the entire strategy. When you get right down to it, this whole conflict is forcing us to ask a really fundamental question about the future of the automobile and what it even means to own one.
So we'll leave you with this question. If continuous software updates really can make a car safer, faster, and more efficient long after it leaves the factory, then is giving up the traditional notion of full ownership a necessary and acceptable price to pay? The answer to that question is going to define the next decade of this entire industry.
For data-driven automotive analysis, support our work by subscribing to AutoRead. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next breakdown.